Kiev and in Washington and Brussels and several other capitals in the West. So I'm going to show you a pattern that's going to start here. I'm going to show you here a clip from Zelensky on the 13th of August. So it's 3 days before that first picture on the left there that I showed you of the map where Ukraine had gotten into. And he gave his assessment of where Ukraine was on that day.
Today, there have already been several reports from Commander-in-Chief Syrskyi about the situation on the front and in the areas of our operation in the Kursk region. We are expanding the area of active operations. The Commander-in-Chief reported that our forces control 74 settlements in the Kursk region. Special attention is paid to the Kursk region, and thus to the protection of all our border communities nearby. The more the Russian military presence in the border area is destroyed, the closer peace and real security will be for our country.
Okay, so now before I even go on to what's next, I mean, just on the surface of it there, you're talking about that was barely a week into the offensive operation. You have the country of Russia, and then you have whatever it was, 12 to 15,000 Ukrainian forces had punched a hole in a little piece of one of the oblasts here. And he's talking about the destruction of Russia leading to peace and security for his country. On the surface of it, you got to be thinking, what the heck did he just say?
Yeah. Well, he didn't get the reputation for being the cocaine cowboy for nothing, which does clearly affect his judgment. It is when you get detached from reality. But you know, this is not unprecedented in history. You know, we've seen at least the historical accounts about Hitler's final days in the bunker, that he was equally out of touch with reality. He was moving imaginary armies around and ordering people to do things that they couldn't do. And what we're witnessing is Zelensky is replicating some of that same scenario, where he's insisting that there's victories where there are no victories, and that anybody with an honest appraisal of military capability would step in and say, whoa, this is a bad situation. You don't want to be in this. And, unfortunately, as because I've been watching you over the last couple of days as well, and you've got ample examples of U.S. so-called military experts saying the stupidest, most ignorant things. They should, you can excuse Zelensky. He's a comedian known for playing the piano with one of his private parts. But so you don't necessarily want him to necessarily expect him to understand the importance of logistics, the importance of trained personnel, how difficult the training can be in order to get it. We're not just talking about individual training, but unit training and the communications and the coordination required. You can excuse him for that. But Hodges, Petraeus, Stavridis, let's go down the list. Yeah. What's their damn excuse?
Yeah,
incompetence.
It's unknown, and I almost fear whatever the answer may be. But you mentioned the Hitler bunker syndrome, whatever. Okay, so that was the 13th of August. Now then, you see that from that same time until now, there's been almost no forward movement, just a little bit here and there on the margins of it, but the casualty counts continue to just skyrocket by the day. In light of the time between that, this was reported today, that just this afternoon, that Zelensky is planning to present the U.S. with a victory plan in September. And the article goes on to tell that he apparently has a meeting set up with Biden and with Kamala Harris, and he's planning to go and visit Trump while he's there as well. And listen, you made the comment just a second ago. Okay, you can kind of forgive Zelensky for having this Hitler bunker kind of mentality, and he's just unwilling to look at reality. But if the White House actually took the meeting and said, yes, we're going to allow you to come in and give us your victory plan, right, then maybe it's not just him in the bunker.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, he's being enabled both by military and or CIA, or a combination of the two. And not just on the U.S. side, on the British side as well. The Brits are actually more egregious. The British Ministry of Defense, for example, today put out a video claiming that the Russian pilots, now listen to what I'm saying, The Russian pilots in Ukraine have run out of water. They're restricted to 1 liter a day. Okay? And they put that out on a video as their claim, that the Russian logistics are so bad that Russian pilots in Ukraine. Now, last I checked,
Yeah, wait,
Russia's flying out
hang
of
on,
their
where?
fields in Russia, not in Ukraine. What the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, most of those